A bond beyond words. My dog, my family. When I think about my dog, the first thing that comes to mind is unconditional love. He is not just a pet, he is family. He has been my companion in happiness, my comfort in sadness, and my source of joy every single day. I never imagined that one day I would almost lose him, and that experience would change me forever. I still remember the day I first brought him home. He was just a tiny bundle of fur, his eyes filled with curiosity and trust. From that moment, we became inseparable. He followed me everywhere. Whether I was studying, watching TV, or even just sitting quietly, he was always by my side. His playful barks and wagging tail could brighten even the dullest day. Every morning, we had a routine. I would wake up to find him already waiting at my bedside, ready for our morning walk. We would walk through the park, him running ahead and then looking back to make sure I was following. It was our little adventure, our special time together. But then, one day, everything changed. It was a normal evening, and we were on our way back home from the park. He was excited, running a little ahead of me, and then, in a fraction of a second, it happened. A speeding bike came out of nowhere. Before I could react, I heard a loud yelp. My heart stopped. He lay on the ground, whimpering in pain. My legs felt weak, my hands were shaking, but I ran to him. His body was trembling, his eyes filled with fear and pain. I could barely breathe as I picked him up, feeling his warm body against mine. My mind was racing. Was he going to be okay? Was this my fault? Did I not protect him enough? I rushed him to the nearest veterinary clinic. The waiting room felt like an eternity. My heart pounded as the doctor examined him. I wanted to do something, but all I could do was wait. My mind was flooded with worst-case scenarios. What if he never ran again? What if he was in pain for the rest of his life? The doctor finally came out. "He's hurt, but he's a fighter," he said with a reassuring smile. "With proper care, he'll recover." Relief washed over me, but a new challenge had begun. The next few weeks were the hardest. He had a fracture in his leg, and he couldn't walk properly. He was in pain, and I could see the sadness in his eyes. The playful, energetic dog I knew was now silent and weak. Taking care of him was not easy. I had to help him move, feed him carefully, and give him his medicines on time. But the hardest part was watching him struggle. I could see his frustration. He wanted to run, to play, to be his old self. But he couldn't, and that broke me. I sat beside him every night, talking to him, telling him he would be okay. "You're strong," I whispered. "We'll get through this together." And somehow, I think he understood. His eyes, filled with trust and love, told me that he believed in me. Slowly, he started recovering. The first time he tried to stand up on his own, my heart swelled with pride. And when he took his first steps again, I almost cried. It was a long journey, but he never gave up, and neither did I. This experience taught me something important. Love is not just about happy moments. It's about standing by someone, even when it's hard, even when it hurts. My dog had always been there for me, and this time, it was my turn to be there for him. Today, he runs again. Maybe not as fast as before, maybe with a little more caution, but he runs. And every time I see him wagging his tail, full of life, I am reminded of our journey. A journey of pain, healing, and love. He is not just my pet. He is my family. And no matter what happens, I will always be there for him. Just as he has always been there for me.